Today, we're gonna find out if an icicle would really be the perfect murder weapon. Ever since I was in middle school, I've heard these stories about how to get away with the perfect murder, and they all go a little something like this. Some guy decides that he wants to kill someone, but he doesn't want to get caught, obviously. So, instead of using a knife or a gun as his weapon, he decides to use an icicle. He goes to the location of his target, stabs the guy with the icicle, ditches the weapon, and then runs away. He reasons that by the time the cops show up, the icicle will have melted, and without any evidence of a weapon, he'll get off scot-free. It's an interesting idea, but would it work in real life? To start, I need to make some icicles. Of course, if it were cold enough outside, I could go harvest them myself, but that actually brings up some other problems. We need to make sure that we're testing with icicles that are always the same size. My plan is to make fake icicles in the freezer, and to do that, we're gonna need a mold. So to make our mold, we're gonna need to make a dummy icicle that can serve as the positive that we'll remove and then leave a form that we can pour water into to cast our ice. What we're gonna be making is just a long cone with a flat part at the end to hold it. So we're gonna take this dowel rod and rough out the shape of an icicle on the bandsaw in basically 2 dimensions. After that, we'll take it to the belt sander and smooth out those angles so that we have a nice cone all the way down the shaft. After that, we'll have our positive. Before we can cast it in silicone, we need to do a little bit more prep. We're gonna coat it in some kind of a sealant to help it not stick to the mold. As the outside of a mold, we're gonna use a piece of PVC pipe. First, I'll cut the pipe in half so that it's easy to break off the mold when we're done. We'll probably just end up hot gluing or taping the sides together. It doesn't need to be super strong, it just needs to be watertight. When you're making a mold, you wanna minimize the amount of extra space between the object you're casting and the walls of whatever you're casting in. If there's too much space, you just end up wasting a bunch of mold compound. We're gonna be using this silicone stuff that I got off of Amazon. Before we cast it, we need to mix the silicone as well as possible to make sure that it hardens in a way that's predictable. We also want to minimize the number of bubbles while we're doing this, as any bubbles could end up jeopardizing the actual shape of the mold. Then we're gonna pour the silicone into a tube, stick our wooden icicle into it, and wait. And in about 30 minutes, we should have a strong enough mold that we can pull the icicle out and we'll have something done. Peel off. There we go. That is a frickin' mold. We're just gonna fill this guy up with water right now. Time to go stick it in the freezer. Okay, it's been a few hours. Icicle out of the freezer. I added a couple drops of blue food coloring just to make it easier to see. I think I might have added a little bit much because it looks very blue right now, but we're hoping that this string makes it easier to pull out. Nice. I'm gonna put this in a box. This is how we're gonna make many, many, many of them. Back into the freezer. So now that we have all the icicles made, I think we're about ready to test them out. Now we're gonna be testing these on slabs of meat, and don't worry, none of the meat's going to waste. Instead, we're gonna be cooking it up later, but I wanted to use actual meat for these tests because for testing this question in particular, it's really important that we have an accurate analog of what a human person would be like. For this experiment, I wanted to test icicle effectiveness in a variety of scenarios. The outside temperature was a cool 48 degrees, but I also had plenty of sun. The first set of icicles was a worst-case scenario test, placed in direct sunlight for about 30 to 35 minutes. And the next pair were supposed to simulate a 30-minute car ride, but assuming the perp had the brains to keep them in a cooler. The frozen-sided cooler was also placed in the sun for about 30 minutes. The third set simulated a short travel distance, but unprepared, so I placed these unprotected in the shade for about 15 minutes. And of course, I also did a best-case scenario, fresh out of the freezer. While I waited for the icicles to ripen, I set up my meat testing target. A pot roast served as the fleshy base, topped by a rack of ribs to simulate bones for protection. I then covered this with a fresh layer of synthetic skin and wrapped the whole thing in a t-shirt to simulate wearing clothes. After all the prep, we were ready to test. When we test these out, we're gonna go in kind of reverse order. So I'm gonna start by taking the icicles out of the freezer, then we're gonna move on to those, and then we're gonna move on to the ones over there. Fresh out of the freezer icicle in 3, 2, 1. Well, I think we might have broken a rib. Actually, I think it was a little bit too far down. I'm gonna try a little bit higher up. 1. So I punctured through the shirt, through and I didn't actually end up breaking the skin.
I mean, you did get some.
You got some.
Actually, you went through the rib.
Yeah, but I also didn't break the skin. I'm very curious. Wow. So I just laid it down gently and this thing already shattered. When it's fresh out of the freezer, it is super brittle still. So we should move right along. Slightly exposed icicle test, 15 minutes in the shade. Going in 3, 2, 1. That completely shattered. Holy cow. I did not expect that. Actually, what I thought would happen to the 15-minute icicle is what happened to the fresh out of the freezer icicles. So here's the other freezer icicle.
Try one just into the roast.
All right.
Put the skin there, but
no bones. Like I'm going for the neck. We're gonna basically call this the neck test. 3, 2, 1. Now that'll kill you. That one, I don't actually even know what happened to the end of that icicle. I think it's completely shattered and just in there. So evidently that works. You know, I'm gonna toss the ribs back on there. I think to keep it consistent, I'm gonna test the rest of them with one fully clothed and the other one not like that. Let's grab next. So this is I know I'm a long way from my victim's place, but I'm gonna plan for it. And these look to be in fairly good shape. They've obviously cooled pretty evenly. Out of the cooler icicle in 3, 2, 1. All right, so that is right here. This would have hurt. I actually think that the skin is kind of not behaving the way I want it to in this case, but I think just for consistency's sake, I need to leave it on here. Look, you can even see it got all the way into the pot roast. Skin and pot roast. 3, 2, 1. Yet again, absolutely decimated. All right, this is really cool. You should come check this out. Look. So do you see how there's this chunk of ice right here? That chunk of ice was not there. These were completely smooth. I think that the reason this is happening is because when you put ice under pressure, it liquefies. And so when I'm shattering the ice, it gets warm enough to get like a little bit watery, but then it cools back down as it's sticking into the body of the icicle itself, because it's probably shattering and just sliding up along the meat. It's the same reason that it looks almost like the tip melted around the rest of the icicle. Super fascinating. Go test our last set of icicles. So these are the worst case scenario icicles. They've gotten really melty at this point. Absolutely disgusting, by the way. They are covered in Vaseline from the mold process. All right, now these I am fully expecting to just completely shatter all over the place. You can see that they're actually already kind of breaking down. They've got this kind of weird rough texture on the outside. So at this point, this is a slush-cicle. Worst case scenario, dude left them out in the sun test in 3, 2, 1. And that just does not work at all. It's actually hilarious how bad that went. And I think it's really interesting that it doesn't break down, like it doesn't just like melt off. It kind of just slushifies.
So can you kill someone with a snow cone?
Yeah, right. That's basically what it is. But let's test it on the skin and pot roast. Bare skin test. 3, 2, 1. Oh. Wow, it didn't like slushify. Totally unexpected. I'm gonna try to hit it in a slightly different location. 2, 1. I think that it's not completely going to slush because it doesn't have anything stiff it's pushing up against. So it's like hurtful, but I don't think in real life it would go that far in. I'm gonna give it one more test right on here. 2, 1. I'm hoping that just looks really good on slow-mo, to be honest. Look at that! Look at that! It's like I've taken hot iron. I think that's actually kind of sick. First half of this, can you kill somebody with an icicle? Probably. Assuming it's worth it to you, can you get away with it? The one thing I want to see is whether you can actually dispose of the icicles fast enough before the cops show up. Once you kill a guy, the cops are going to get called. Assuming it takes an hour and a half for them to show up, would the evidence be melted by the time they got there? I put 3 icicles in the fridge to simulate wintertime outdoor temperatures, like you tried to ditch the weapon, and put 3 on the table as if you left them at the crime scene. Here's what happened after about an hour and a half. It's been about an hour and a half now. Here's what we got. The icicle that was just sitting in the room has pretty much melted all the way. It fared a lot better than the guy who tried to ditch his weapon in the woods, right, running away from the scene. The takeaway here is the best way to dispose of it is frankly neither of these methods. It's to wash it away using hot water or something, but you're actually better off probably leaving your icicle at the scene of the crime than you are trying to ditch it outside in the winter. And with that, I think that really brings us to the conclusion here. Can you kill somebody with an icicle? I think you definitely can. Can you get away with it? I think while it's probably possible to get away with murder using an icicle, I don't think you're getting away with it because you used an icicle. It's a cool idea. I think it's not the like easy get off scot-free that I think that the stories make it out to be. Let me know if you liked this one. If you did, slap a like on it. Make sure you share the video with a friend who you think would think this was cool. If you want to join the Discord, you can do that down below, or if you want to help support these videos directly, you can do so over on my Patreon. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Peace. This is the point at which I have a lot of arguments in the comments about speciesism. See, personally, I'm an advocate for eating people. So